Concert tour in 11 years. Don and Phil Everly, whose string of hits includes Bye Bye Love, Wake Up Little Susie, and Kathy's Clown. They are performing tonight at the Garden State Art Center in Jersey and tomorrow in New York at Pier 82. And before we talk to these legends, a clip of the Everly Brothers from their recent home box office special.
I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream.
Welcome to Live at 5. And you know, they didn't write legend in the copy. I happen to just pop that in there because
we appreciate
it's sort of my era. And interesting to watch your reaction to your tape. You really didn't want to watch it.
Well, I finally watched it. Some of my friends plied me with wine about a month or so ago over in London and put it on in the machine, and I watched pretty much it. I hadn't watched it for a long time. It's just not something that you dwell upon. I mean, I watched it looked in the room when it was playing first in the premiere.
Guess what?
I couldn't sit down and watch it, though.
Guess what? You're not alone. I don't think there's one guest out of 10 that comes on and is comfortable watching themselves, so that's not a big deal. Now, I know that both of you have spent a great deal of time answering the whole thing about the breakup and stuff, and I don't want to go into that because everybody really knows that you're back together now, but I do want to ask you, I do know that you didn't just call each other up on the phone and you were on stage the next day. I mean, it took about a year of talking to each other, and I'm curious about the kinds of conversations that made you feel comfortable enough to get on stage again.
They were normal brother conversations, you know, what you've been doing, you know, how you've been doing it, and this, that, and then laughing, and this, that, and the other. And then we had a chance to meet in the spring. I was coming back from Europe, and I popped on down to Nashville, and we had lunch, and had a grand time there, too, with some friends, and just let it progress in a slow, normal kind of way.
Well, you see, it happens in news, too, that if you don't have a rapport off the air, not used to talking to each other, it doesn't work when you're working. So, you see, I thought maybe you were planning what the stage act was going to be like. No, first you had to be comfortable with each other.
People have been wanting us to, I mean, I must have been seemed like every day someone saying, when you're going to sing with Phil again, you know? And all our friends wanted it. And then it just seemed a natural thing to do after we got back together, you know, sort of personally. Okay. And why not? It's a lot of fun again.
Well, I indeed am delighted to see you back together. I know that in this album that you have coming out soon.
It should be out in August, middle of August, or 1st September.
There's a tune on it written by Paul McCartney, which I found to be very ironic, considering that by the time they hit America, you two had sold about 26 million records already, and I'm told that they said you were an influence on them.
Yeah. Well, the United States, Southern rock, really was basically, I think, the backbone of what turned into English rock and came back to it. You know, one thing, your one hand washes the other. And ultimately, when we did record again, we thought about getting a McCartney song, and he sat down and wrote us one, so we were very happy.
You mean you called him?
Well, our producer, Dave Edmonds, called him for us and suggested, you know, ask him what he would think.
Yeah.
Could he write something? And he called back 3 weeks later, said he had it.
That's wonderful.
And it was a wonderful song.
Yeah. It fit like a glove, too. It's a really strange thing about the Beatles sound and the Everly Brothers sound, you know. And the McCartney songs, of course, he writes a great song. He may be the best writer we've ever had, you know, in music. But it fit like a glove. It was just a wonderful thing to sing.
I might inject here, just out of, I don't know, on a lark, I picked up this new Rolling Stone review of acts through the years, and they said about you two that they felt that Simon and Garfunkel had been greatly influenced. I'd never given it a thought. I mean, do you guys ever think of who did we influence? I mean, it probably doesn't cross your mind.
Well, I've spoken to Paul, and I think that they listened to us when they were in high school, and that might be the reason they were. I think in one of the interviews in Rolling Stone with Paul Simon, he mentioned that they had. He said he couldn't believe the two guys were singing with the name Everly, because he'd never heard the name Everly either.
Well, didn't the Beach Boys try to sing as the Cleverly Brothers at one point?
I doubt that.
I
doubt that.
Now, I don't want to mess up on mentioning this tour again. Who is on the tour with you?
Well, it's just
Don
mainly
and I.
us.
Oh, is it? I thought
Mainly
they
us
were...
in our group. We have a group, and we have a songwriter friend of ours that wrote a song on the album that's connected with us that comes out and warms the audience up if it needs warming up, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
We have the best musicians in the entire world. We have Pete Wingfield out of London who played the HBO concert, and he's a producer, you know, over there and all. And we have Albert Lee on guitar, and all guitar players know who that is. And we also have Larry London out of Nashville, who is the premier session drummer. In fact, I doubt there are any sessions going on in Nashville today.
No, I'm sure there
I
is.
do sense some excitement here. Okay, so now we got a tour, we got an album, we got the home box, and we have a Cinemax coming up.
Yeah, we have an album flash coming on in August or
all right.
September.
You're at the Garden Arts Center tonight and tomorrow, Pier 82.
In
and
Jones Beach.
in Jones Beach?
The day after.
The day after. Okay, we got everything in, the
Yeah,
plugs.
it's all
Yeah, the
Too bad
plug-
we don't have about 2 hours more just to chat
Lovely
about
to talk with
things
you.
in general, you know?
Yes.
But I'm glad to see you both.
Thank you.
And good
Thank
luck
you
the
so
next couple
much.
of days anyway.
Please.
Okay.
Pleased to meet you.